Hey, what's up, PracTacular Home Crew? Welcome back to the shop. It's my Friday. We have made some really nice progress on our drywall process. So it's cutting, hanging, taping, texturing. So there's 4 steps here. This particular crew got all the way through to the texture step. So I'll cover that maybe next week and let you know what's going on. But I did want to take you to step 2 of putting our joint compound on, otherwise known as mud, going from the small knife to the medium knife to the large knife. This 3-step process, we've got to just understand it. But more importantly, it's all about the prep, the preparedness between one coat to the next coat. If we do not take the next couple of steps that I'm going to show you, you will end up with a finished thing that you're not proud of. And of course, that's not what we want to do as home DIYers. So we want to learn this simple technique. Matter of fact, it's going to use some of the most simplest tools you've ever seen in your life. I'm going to show it to you in just a minute, okay? So let's take a little tour and I'll show you what's going on here with the student projects. So right here, baby, let's get up close and personal. We got texture, baby. Looking really nice. We're doing a knockdown texture, which I've just found over the years makes a beautiful finish, but it's simpler to teach. And so they're doing a beautiful job. This crew right here, we are in 3rd stage, 3rd step. You can tell because we've got 12 inches of material covering the horizontal seam here, and they've done a beautiful job. Smooth on the top, smooth off the bottom. Voila, they're ready for texture on Monday. That's looking good. Stage 2 or 3 here, same thing. The tape width is good. That's looking good. Over here, looks like the same thing. They're at step 3, and we need to come in and do the preparation before we go to spraying the texture. So preparation. So this is kind of an 80-20 situation. Remember that rule, 80%, 20%. So 80% of a great looking finished wall takes 20% of the time, right? 80-20. So if we don't prep it right, we're never gonna get the right finish. So it takes 80% more time to kind of prep it, make sure it's good, and then just a little bit of time to put the mud on. That's just what it does. It's the same thing with paint. You spend all this time prepping and preparing, and then 20% of your time you're actually brushing, rolling, spraying, doing your thing. So preparation is key. So let me show you what we're gonna do. So we're gonna cruise through here, and we're gonna come up on this project right here, because they are currently at, looks like 1st coat. So if I take, remember this, 3 different knives. So here's coat number 1, and I measure like that. Make sure you can actually see me. Let me get this tilted down here. All right, here we go. So knife number 1, tape number 1, right? Width. Coat number 2, that looks like where they're at. We need to add a little more on coat number 2 before we get to coat number 3 and the 12-inch knife. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the technique to prepare it for coat number 2, and then we'll put coat 2 on, and that'll be a good step for this video, okay? So here's the tools you need to do your prep between the 2. Okay, and I know there's lots of different ways to do this, and the way I'm going to teach you is for our home DIYer. We're just getting things done. We're doing small sections. We're not a professional drywaller. We're not hanging a whole house. And so all the different professional tools and techniques that other trades may use, we're whittling it down. We're whittling it down to 1 knife. So you're going to take your small 6-inch drywall knife and this marvelous tool right here. It's these 2 things. That's all you need. Okay? You're like, what does a wet terrycloth towel have to do with drywall? Well, I'm going to show you. Because over the years, here's what I've learned. You can scrape it, you can sand it with sanding blocks, with orbital sander, you can put power tools, you can do it all by hand, but when you sand the joint compound, it turns into a really fine powder. Really fine powder, not good. It goes everywhere, not only on the surfaces, but then it gets into the air, and then our air handlers pick it up and it blows it throughout the entire house. It breathes into our lungs. All of this is not good. So what I've learned is if we use a damp paper towel or a damp terrycloth towel, and we try to eliminate as much of the sanding and removing, all of a sudden everything gets captured inside this and not inside our lungs or all over our flooring, okay? So super good technique. So I'm gonna change camera angles to get really close so you can see it, but these are the two tools you need right here. All right, so here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Our second coat, we cannot put it on until we get all of this smoothed and removed. So we got a little chunk right here we gotta take off. We gotta smooth this section out. They've done a nice job with the tapering technique. Remember that, where we press down on the corner and then we pull across, because it makes that nice thin top edge. But here's the deal. If I come in here and I can just get a little bit, some of those higher chunks off. So in other words, we're just lightly scraping to get the parts that are sticking up knocked down to a point where it's, again, back nice and flat and flush. So literally, if I do my job right, that's it. Use the scraper, we're done. Tool number 2, here's our terrycloth towel. You're gonna fold it in fourths so that you end up with a cool little tool that looks kind of like this. Because when I roll this over, I'm gonna use just the pad right here, and I'm gonna use a circular motion, and all of a sudden I'm gonna take out all of these little imperfections and get it nice and smooth all the way across. So here we go. I'm gonna take it right here, and I'm just gonna lightly press and go circles right along this leading edge. And now all of a sudden, wherever there was any extra joint compound, it is gone, baby. That is smooth. This is a combination of you using your eyeballs and your hands, because you want to feel the surface, and wherever you feel a bump, I feel a bump right there. I'm going to come in and same technique. Take some circles, get some of that material off, and now all of a sudden that is smooth, and literally that is all we need to do to get this prep for coat number 2. Okay, here we go. We got it back. We're going for coat number 2, so we're using our 8-inch knife. We load it from one side. So let me show you that again. Here's our tray. If I clear my knife on the leading metal edge, then I'm gonna bring it down to get that bit off so that it doesn't dry and turn into chunks. I pull across the tray, and I'm gonna lift up and give it a little bit of pressure so that it pulls and takes off that leading edge so it doesn't drip and fall on you. So now it's sticking to the knife. All is good. So if we have the right viscosity, the right amount of material, here we go. So our dimension right now on coat number 2 needs to be like that, from here to here. So I'm gonna start at this top edge, and I'm gonna press, pull down through, and then release on the width that we want for our knife, okay? So we're gonna load the material on first, and then we smooth it out. Load it on, then smooth it out. Don't try to do it all in the same step, okay? So we're gonna load more onto the knife, pull from the side edge, right? Lift, load, come to over here. I'm gonna work around that junction box so I don't scrape all that material on there. When we got obstacles like that, no big deal. Let's turn the knife this way, right? Load the material, trying to work nice and thin, okay? So now I've got up to the box, I gotta go above it and on the right-hand side. So same thing, load the knife, turn the knife this way right above the box, lean it into the wall, pull straight up, and load it onto the wall. Perfect. Now I got one more pass, I gotta come on this side. So clear the knife, load the knife, turn it horizontal, and I'm gonna load it right here and just pull till it goes off the edge. So now all of a sudden, I've got the material where I need it. I'm gonna clear my knife, because now we're gonna smooth it. Load it, then smooth it. Load it, smooth it, okay? So top edge, I can pull all the way across. So I'm using that same technique where I'm gonna push in on the top of the tool, let it flex, and then pull into that leading edge and follow all the way through. Don't stop, make one smooth motion as you can, because as you can see, now I got this beautiful tapered edge to the width that I want. Voila. And look at all that material I pulled off. Awesome. Because less is best. Remember that? Less is best. Got to remember that too. The least amount of material in here, the better the finish is going to be. So we just need to remember we're using these certain techniques to remove and smooth. Okay? So now down here, I don't want to go right across this J-box because it'll just scrape all inside. So I'm going to do it in 2 steps. I'm going to come in here and lower left corner press, pull into the material, bring it across. I got a little tracer line there, so I'm going to do that again. Boom. Nice and clean, tapered edge, tapered edge. Beautiful. I got one more little spot, so I'm going to clear my knife. Come on this side, same thing. Press down on that corner, taper the edge out. So now we've got load it, smooth it, and then the last step is we're going to flatten it. So we're going to come straight across the middle. We're holding the knife with 2 little fingers, super light, no pressure, or very little pressure, I should say. And then I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to start here first, and I'm going to take it right through the middle and just take off a little more, right? So we can lower that. We don't want it to bulge in the middle. We want it to be flat. So we're going to remove a little bit. I'll clear the knife. I'll swing over here, do the same thing, nice and flat. Pull, and voila. There's coat number 2. Now, I'm going to bring you up nice and close because what you're going to see is like some movement, little tracer lines. And you're like going to say, but Mr. V, what are you going to do? You see the lines right here? They're like, okay, no. Just leave them. Let them dry. And then when we use our prep tool tomorrow, super easy. We're just going to scrape that down a little bit, do our little circles. Next thing you know, it's super smooth and ready for coat number 3. So that is the process we've been using here in the shop. I've used it as a remodeling contractor for years and years. Man, this is it. Because as the DIYer, we're not hanging probably more than 1 sheet, or we're doing little patches, or we're doing something. So we're using a different method than a professional drywall trade would, right? But this method here will get us beautiful results in our homes, apartments, whatever we're doing, by simply using good techniques and simple tools, keeping it, right? Safe, clean, efficient, boom. That's the way we do it at PracTacular. So stay tuned. We're going to let this dry, and we'll get into coat number 3 and then the texture. All right? Thanks for watching. We'll catch you later.